over to youtube.com/Chasing Dissent Official. Bye.
Stream's running.
Stream's down.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you can get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like. Find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to keep you on down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Oh, fuck it. We've gone live early. We've gone live early. Pushed the button by mistake. Good evening, Ben. What a fucking... Well, it was a bit of a fucking rush to try and get everything ready. Sorry, I've sworn too much at the start. Oh, yeah. There you go. There you go.
All you missed was me calling him every single name under the sun.
We're pushing the button early.
Yeah. Well, it's all good. Well. Good evening, John.
Good evening, Ben.
Come on, let's see that smile.
I don't know what's going on.
What? I don't know. We look good.
Yeah, I was just adjusting coffee there. It was too much up, too high, I think. You look a bit, you look as if you're not quite in frame.
Oh, I think I look all right. Cherie in the chat says, "Hey, long time no see." I know, just a long time. If you've not seen, we are over on the TikToks now, and we did a little pre-show that was a little bit different to what I hope it will normally be because we were rushing to get the show ready today. But well, John, just cut the cord, get us in, introduce the show. Come on.
Okay, Ben, and with that, I'd like to welcome everyone to this episode 219 of Chasing Dissent Live. A nearly catastrophic lack of social media exposure.
Yes, I'm a little bit annoyed actually because the regulars are just absent. They're just AWOL, which means, you know, for those of you that watch it back, just remember.
Do you want me to push the button to run the intro or not?
You can if you want, yeah. Push the button.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.
There you go. We've been introduced.
We have been introduced. Introduced we have. And John, it's been a while since we've done a proper episode. It's been quite a while actually, because you are still in the midst of moving.
And I wasn't terribly well.
Yeah, you weren't terribly well. John's been he has had the coof tummy, haven't you, John?
No, I haven't had anything to do with that. I had gastric flu.
Cherie says this is the first one I've seen live and I'm enjoying it. Well, you'll enjoy it far more better live.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That's your first exposure to live Chasing Dissent. Because actually, normally, we're much better. We look much better. Well, I look better. And we normally have some sort of plan that we're working to. So I can only apologise for the appallingness in which this one has started with. Sorry.
Put it this way, we are going to muddle our way on through this show tonight. We've got a few things we want to talk about. One thing I do want to talk about is we've been discussing this afternoon, actually, whether or not we will return to slides. And I think there is a place for it. I think there is maybe a place for it occasionally, but I think these off-the-cuff discussions I think they're better. But that's just me. What do you think, John?
It's more like the all-in format, and I like it. I do. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I can say. It's easier because I don't have to go and make slides. So it takes some of the pressure off.
Well, exactly. And if there is really something we want to visualize, we always have that option there, right?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, excuse me, because I've been working again in the new gym. But yeah. There's always plenty of stuff to talk about.
There is. There's always plenty of stuff to talk about. And with that, John, what do you want to talk about first tonight?
Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at me bookmarks, because that's what I tend to do. I tend to bookmark the detritus from... Oh, let's start. Let's start. Okay, let's start with one that really kicked them, that really triggered them all this morning, didn't it?
Oh, right? Go for it. Go for it. Which one?
So this is, what we're starting with is action against ULEZ extension, okay?
Right.
And he goes, I have a 2002 Ford Focus, which is not compliant. Now, immediately when I read that, I thought, in what way is it not compliant? Does it not go down certain roads that you don't want it to? Does it reverse when you want to go forward? Does it not start? Does it not stop? You know, all things that would make it non-compliant. But then I think, oh, maybe he means about ULEZ, right? No, which is fine.
Yeah.
I've considered scrapping it, but it's still good. Hold on. When was a Ford 2002 Focus ever good?
Never. When was any Ford car ever good?
So you make me laugh. But anyway, although the trucks are quite handy.
Yes, no, that is true. Press the button.
That's true.
There you go.
So anyway... I was having a bit of a laugh to myself, and then he goes, I've decided to give the car to the mayor. And I thought, right, okay, so he's now the owner and registered keeper. Well, I'd like to point out, he's not the owner because he didn't buy it.
No.
Right? So, first of all, he didn't buy it. He's not the owner. He may well be the registered keeper, but as it says on the V5, which is not, we don't have logbooks, it's a V5, but as it says on the V5, the registered keeper is not necessarily the legal owner. And I think you'll find that Sadiq Khan, or anything to do with Transport for London, is the owner of that vehicle. You're still the owner, sir.
Yeah.
So, as the car is still insured, hold on, it's insured, taxed and has a valid MOT, so it's now insured, taxed and has a valid MOT, so it's insured by someone who doesn't own it, according to you.
According to you, yeah.
Therefore, your insurance is null and void.
Mm-hmm.
You look up your insurance, you can't go and insure someone else's car, and then as your own, and then sell it and still say that you're insured for it. Doesn't work like that. Right?
Exactly right.
I shall continue to drive it until Sadiq comes to collect it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not going to happen because he's not going to come and collect it because he doesn't own it. And the problem is, you're going to rack up a cracking amount of ULEZ fines, and you're going to get flagged on the PNC, you're going to get stopped, and you're going to get questioned. And then ultimately, you'll probably get arrested for failing to failing to pay for the fines. Which I pointed out. I thought it's only fair to point this out to people. You know, it's a bit like the don't pay. You know, the don't pay.
Oh, those
thing.
Morons! Yeah,
it's a bit like that. You know, it's if you don't want to do it, that's fine. If you want to do this, that's fine because you can make up your own mind. But our point, and it always has been, Ben, I think you'll agree with me, is you can do what you like.
Yeah.
But please be informed about what you're actually doing. Don't just take anyone's word for it, right?
It's like these morons, and we talk about them often, that they we're going to install our own electric and gas meters. Yeah. What's that going to do exactly?
I'm still waiting for someone to give me proof or come on the show and tell me that they've done it and show me evidence, right? But anyway, so then guys start going, oh, you need to gross it, you're a rule follower. Well, these rule followers really crack me up, and I'm thinking, who is this guy talking about? And
it's not following rules.
I'll guarantee this alleged non-rule follower. I'll bet at some point while he's been cowering in fear in England over the last 3 years, he's done things like Warner or stayed in or not went to a different tier, and I just binned all of those, didn't I? As well as traveling across 8 different European countries.
I was gonna say, I think me and you both binned all of it, didn't we? We didn't do what we were told.
Yeah.
And in fact, actually, I want to shout.
Call us rule followers. But this is the thing. Why do these people do that? They just jump in there straight away and go rule follower, and they don't know anything about the person they're talking to. And just
it's not only that.
I'm just pointing out there are flaws in your plan, mate, because I even started the thing with, the reply started with genius. And then I put until.
But you know, you're right, and it's not following rules or rule following to point out when you are going to be held liable for something, right? Just to point out a fact, because it is a fact. It's like when you get a speeding ticket, right? When you get a speeding fine, if somebody else is driving your car at the time, despite the fact that you're the registered keeper of the vehicle, somebody else is at the wheel of the car, that speeding ticket is theirs. It's not yours. So the same thing applies here with the ULEZ cameras. If you go through all the ULEZ cameras and it takes, you know, your picture and shoots you a load of fines, if it's you at the wheel, it's going to be you that's responsible for them, not Mr. Khan, the registered keeper. Now, this is not following rules to point this out.
I know, because someone else replied, that's not true. All the fines are the responsibility of the registered keeper. No, they're not.
No!
No, they are not.
No, they're not. You know what? It's just as dumb as earlier on. I'm going to slightly change tack. I saw people talking about sunburn earlier on, and I saw one of the most ludicrous things. Somebody trying to tell somebody, and this is somebody trying to tell people, as an expert perhaps, that if you go on a carnivore diet, you will never get sunburn. I've been on a carnivore diet for nigh on 20 years, I step out in the sun and I set ablaze.
But you're special. You are special because although you may be on a carnivore diet, you are not on a carnivore drinking regime. That's the problem.
Oh, so that's why I set ablaze, is it?
It's the sugar, yeah.
Let's not go there, John.
Have you ever put sugar under a magnifying glass under the sun? It burst into flames.
I'm 4 days off the fizzy drinks.
Well done, mate. Well done. You're a star.
Like shit. And I think that was a well qualified swear there, because I really do feel pretty awful.
Well, you'll be having a bit of withdrawal.
A bit.
Right, okay. Shall we move on?
Well, I think we can actually stay put on that topic, because it segues quite nicely into something you wanted to talk about.
Go on.
Which is aspartame.
Oh, it's aspartame. So the recent study comes out saying aspartame has a bit of an issue in that it's been found that it changes your actual brain wiring and chemistry to make you feel anxiety.
Okay.
And then it said this has been shown to be passed on to your progeny. That's actually quite a problem, I would think, for people that have high consumption of aspartame.
I was going to say, what you're trying to tell me is people that drink Diet Coke are making their kids paranoid, essentially.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah, well, maybe that, it probably does work out like that, because, you know, there are quite a lot of worried kids about just now.
Well, one thing I will say is this. I was very, very picky with the fizzy drinks I drank. I only went for ones, apart from the time I occasionally drank a few Monsters, because I'm pretty sure that's got it in. But otherwise, I only ever really drank full sugar Coca-Cola variants and Red Bull. And the dark blue Red Bull at that, which is only sugar. And it's the same with lemonade, right? 7-Up, for example. 7-Up used to be only sugar until very recently.
Yeah.
And then they've sneakily changed it out to be sugars and sweeteners.
What about that vanilla? The
vanilla Coke?
Yeah.
100% sugar, baby.
Is it? I'm surprised.
Oh, yeah. 100% sugar, baby.
So, speaking of the European Union, President Macron has noticed that net zero is hugely damaging to those countries doing it.
Has he only just noticed that?
Well, he seems to, because he said, oh, hold on a minute. Maybe we really don't want to be doing this anymore. It seems to have come to his attention that it might not benefit his country. And if it doesn't benefit his country, that won't benefit him because he won't be in a job, will he?
Well, no, absolutely not. And basically, any politician that is advocating for this ruinous policy of net zero shouldn't be in a job, because it's exactly that. It's ruinous. It's going to take us back to the dark ages, essentially.
Yeah, so
it's going to destroy our economies even more, if you can even do that. And it's ridiculous. And, you know, a broken clock is right twice a day, as we like to say on here, unless it's a digital clock. But
see, I don't quite get Macron, right? Because he's a little bit of a complete and utter a-hole. Right?
Shyster.
Yeah, but he's generally right about the whole Ukraine thing, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes on to say, French President Emmanuel Macron on Thursday urged the EU to pause imposing environmental regulations, saying Europe had already done far more than other industrial powers.
Absolutely.
It's true. That's true.
That's true.
So Macron made the comments as he unveiled his cherished plan for the reindustrialisation of France, including tax credits and other measures aimed at favouring green industry, but also vehicles and batteries made in Europe.
You know why he's doing this, don't you?
Yeah, because he wants to leave the EU.
well, he may want to leave the EU, but he also does not want to leave France via the guillotine, which is a real possibility at the moment.
And French is a very, very nationalistic country. They want out the EU, and I think they also want out of NATO.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think that's probably, we're heading towards that. 10 years, I think NATO's done.
Oh, Frexit is on its way as well, I would say.
Yeah, we are ahead in regulatory terms of the Americans, the Chinese, and any other power in the world, said Macron. You're probably right, yeah.
If the next presidential election in France is a runoff between Marine Le Pen and Emmanuel Macron once again, Marine's winning.
No, she won't. He'll win.
Marine Le Pen will win.
No, he'll win.
No, he won't.
Okay, let's just watch this space. I bet he beats her again. We must not make new changes to the rules, he added, stressing that this would pose risks for the financing of projects. So there he goes. So he expressed alarm over what Paris sees as the protectionist policies of President Joe Biden's US administration to support industry and energy transition. He has urged Europe...
It needs to stop.
He's urged Europe to defend itself against this competition, as well as the rising power of China.
Yeah, it needs to stop, because quite frankly, all of these, and I'm going to use the woke word, all of these woke leaders that are screaming about net zero and how we need to do this, we need to do that, they are not speaking about, they are not protesting, and they are not lambasting the elephants, plural, in the room. And those elephants in the room are indeed the massive industrialization within China and within India, for example. These countries are responsible for a massive percentage of global quote-unquote emissions. You don't see people like Extinction Rebellion. You don't see people like Greta Thunberg. You don't see any of them going to, not even to the Chinese embassies, like in London, let alone going to the countries and protesting, because God forbid there'll be a bloody Tiananmen Square 2.0, I would imagine. But these are the quote-unquote guilty parties. I mean, Britain, as a country, is responsible for, I believe, less than 1% of global emissions. So why on earth would we need to do more ruinous things to destroy our economy, destroy our way of living, destroy everybody's, cost of living, when we can do no more? We are not responsible. If you want to talk about emissions, we are not responsible. And people need to stop protesting in a place that's not responsible.
So speaking of woke,
Ooh.
Jada Pinkett Smith got a bit of a comeuppance, didn't she?
What's happened with Jada? Come on.
Our latest movie, Cleopatra, has been a complete and utter bomb. I think it's one of Netflix's worst performing movies.
Isn't it a Netflix series rather than a movie?
Well, whatever. But it's a complete and utter bomb. It is.
Do you know what I find?
And she's blaming. What's she blaming?
Probably racists.
I think she's blaming white people for getting it wrong or something.
Well, despite the fact the fact that, I mean, I saw a YouTube video from a woman that called herself a real Egyptian woman. That's what she was calling herself in her thumbnail. And she was absolutely going off about this Netflix show and saying that they've race swapped Cleopatra. They've taken her from being an Egyptian woman to being an African American woman. But I just find the whole thing so damn, it's so hypocritical. People with these ideologies sort of eat their own, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you were to, for example, if you were to start making videos specifically lambasting, let's say, Rob Marshall and Lin-Manuel Miranda for what they've done with The Little Mermaid, but people have done, but if you started doing it solely on race, and then you started putting in the thumbnails, for example, this is a real white person, my God, that would be it. That would be it. The videos would be banned. You'd be called a white supremacist. You'd be labeled this, that, and the other. But then when the Egyptians do it, it's fine. I don't get it. And
well, you do. You know what it's all about. You do get it. You know. You just choose not to say it, because if you say it, you'll be branded.
Yeah. But you can just see the hypocrisy. You can just see the hypocrisy. But it's like watching the wokies or the social justice warriors eat their own in this instance, because it's one quote-unquote step on the oppression ladder fighting another quote-unquote step on the oppression ladder, and then they just start infighting, and you're just sitting back going, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
How's this going to turn out? But quite frankly, I don't care that the Little Mermaid's black, and I don't care that Cleopatra's black, and I don't care because it's called acting, ladies and gentlemen, right? It's called acting.
Yeah,
it's called playing pretend.
Yeah, okay, but I kind of take exception to Anne Boleyn.
And you could, I guess, in that same breath, you could take exception to the Cleopatra thing if she was, as she was a historical figure.
Well, she was Greek. She wasn't even Egyptian. She was Greek.
Yeah. I don't so much take exception to the Anne Boleyn thing. Do you want to know why? I'll tell you exactly why.
No, because there is no reasonable argument that you can make that can make me change my mind. She's a historical figure. It's an historical drama. You should be historically accurate. They spend all that time making the clothing accurate, making the actions accurate, making the set pieces and everything accurate, and yet they go and put the wrong person in the role.
Now, okay, I get where you're coming from, and I completely agree with you, right? But I want to tell you why I don't take exception to it. Because I'm not going to bloody watch it.
Well, yeah, okay. That doesn't matter. The concept is wrong. And it's the same with Snow White.
Oh my God.
Even as a cartoon, you shouldn't be changing it.
But she is literally described in the book as skin as white as snow. That is why she is called Snow White.
Yeah.
And now she's being played by a Hispanic woman?
Yeah.
Once again, I'm not going to pass any judgment. I'll leave that judgment for you as to whether or not you like the idea. I mean, that Little Mermaid movie's coming out like next week, John.
It's going to bomb.
Shall I go see it? Shall I tell you what it's like?
Yeah, why not? I'll be
yeah.
The problem is albino actors don't look white. We had an albino.
Spencer says,
We had an albino at school. He was scary looking. He looked. You remember Do you remember the Midwich Cuckoos? No, you probably never.
Can't
saw
say
it.
I do. Oh. No.
Anyway, if anybody in the chat remembers the original TV series, I think it was of the Midwich Cuckoos, it was quite scary because the kids were all like, they all had white hair and they all had like, well, I think they had blue eyes, but this guy had red eyes. It was quite, red irises because he was proper albino.
Spencer says in the chat, I'm waiting for Lenny Henry to play King Charles in the next Netflix series of The Crown.
Well, if he can play a Hobbit, he can play anyone.
Oh my God, it wasn't a Hobbit, it was a Harfoot. They tried to make that distinction. But they made him do an Irish accent, and he was terrible. He was, I'm Len. You can always get a decent night's sleep at the Premier Inn.
Get your potatoes here.
Yeah. So Tony says there wasn't an outcry when a Vulcan was depicted by an actor of colour. Now making Spock different to the original character's complexion does the original actor a disservice.
Character.
I don't care.
It's a fictional character. Who cares?
And you know what?
I mean, Vulcans and Klingons are meant to be related, weren't they? Roughly, somewhere along the line. Who cares?
No one will ever be Spock. Character. No one will ever be Spock other than Leonard Nimoy. Zachary Quinto did quite a good job, but Leonard Nimoy is always Spock.
Yeah,
same as William Shatner's always Kirk. Chris Pine once again did a pretty good job. But these characters will never. What is going on out there, John?
That's a plane, mate. That's a plane.
You're still going to be in the flight path in the new place, aren't you?
I think I'm going to be even closer.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And right next to the train line.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
But the train line's actually all right because they're electric trains. So Tony says that's what he was saying, and yeah, well, I agree with you 100%, Tony. It doesn't matter.
People.
But anyway,
people turn around with the whole Little Mermaid argument, and they go, "Oh, what colour are mermaids? Mermaids are fictional beings." Yes, they are.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I don't care about mermaid colours. I mean, it's like it's well, what I care about though is things like Scotty. Scotty's always going to be James Doohan.
And
he wasn't even Scottish. He was Canadian.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
He's always going to be James Doohan because it was just such a fucking. He was just such a class act, wasn't he? You can't. She can't take it, Captain. You can't take the laws of physics.
I'm too fat, Captain. I can't reach the control panel.
Yeah, I mean the original Star Trek crew were just awesome.
Yes, they were.
And first interracial kiss. That's
exactly what I was about to say. First interracial kiss on screen between Uhura and Captain Kirk. Mm-hmm. William Shatner made history there.
He did.
Why is Trudy asking Adam if he's got red cola?
I have no idea.
A lot of Animal Rising have been getting arrested, Adam says back there in the chat. Good.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah, why don't you see people protesting for the rights of plants?
Because they want to eat them.
But that's not very nice.
Apparently I think it's Aldi, it could be Aldi or Lidl, you can now get bug burgers in the freezer.
No, you can't. I'm not getting any of that crap. No way.
I want to see if it's true. I do. I want to see if it's true.
That worries me. What do they do with all this chitin? Because that's a horrible product. That'll slice you to bits. Anyway, speaking sorry.
I'm just not eating the bugs.
Yeah, I'm not eating bugs either.
I'm not doing it. I don't care if Thailand street barbecues have had bugs on them for years, Adam. They can eat bugs in Thailand. If that's a delicacy for them, fantastic. I ain't doing it. That's simple.
Well, Adam, they have tables in China with holes in the middle, right? And what they do is they put a monkey under the table, stick its head through the hole, slice the top off,
don't be too graphic.
And that's what they do, because if you leave it, if you wait until the monkey's too dead, the brain changes taste and it doesn't taste as good.
Fantastic. I mean, Spencer says bug burgers are just not cricket. Oh wait. Spencer's a good example of somebody who is also joining me in never eating the bugs, because we're going for a nice carvery tomorrow, John. Me and Spencer are.
Jolly good. That's a Thursday carvery, isn't not normally a Tuesday carvery you go?
We were supposed to go last Friday, and then Spencer was unable to. Then I was unable to. Then we were supposed to go Monday, and Spencer was unable to. So we've rescheduled it to Thursday, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll only be my third carvery this week.
Have you been ordering in again?
No, I took my son yesterday.
Oh, cool.
Because we got a 50% off main meals voucher.
Cool.
Yeah, so I took my son yesterday, and I did order in a couple of days ago as well.
Right. Yeah. Moving on. Yemen, May 17. So what's happened here? Because I thought ye had brokered the peace treaty.
Well,
Saudi-led
never.
Saudi-led coalition on Wednesday launched attacks on several areas in Yemen's northern province of Sada, a security source told the Yemen press agency. Saudi rockets and artillery shells hit several residential areas in the Shada border district. Not so good.
Not so good indeed.
I thought he was making a difference here. He'll need to come out with his big belt.
Yeah.
And then whip them back into shape. His belt and road.
Get out! Stop fighting one another! Stop fighting! Right now! Stop fucking fighting! Yeah! Oh, my Xi Jinping impressions are going to get me on a kill list, I think.
I think you're already there, mate.
Yeah.
So the Grognard, the Guardian, reports that ministers are looking at body-worn facial recognition technology for the police in this country.
No.
Well, I think it might be time to actually start a trend of wearing anti-facial recognition makeup.
I think it might be a trend.
Marking ourselves up.
I think it might be a trend for everybody to get their hands on either a GoPro or something similar, and just walk around filming themselves all day. If the police want to walk around filming us, we should walk around filming them. And I know there are people that call themselves auditors and stuff like that. But I think everybody should start filming them, because if they want to hold us to account for every little thing or every little infraction that we supposedly do, then we should hold them to account right bloody back. And every step they take should be on film.
The situation that would annoy me would be, say you were approached by a police officer wearing a body-worn facial recognition camera, and he then said to you, "Who are you?" because you're not recognised.
Yeah.
Well, does that not sound dystopian to you? Does that not sound
it does
like
sound
the
dystopian.
Stuff of nightmares?
It does, because at the end of the day, your police are supposed to be, here in the UK anyway, we're supposed to police by consent. And I don't consent for them to be doing this to us. I don't consent for the rollout of all this dystopian surveillance. I mean, we are one of the most watched countries on the planet. And we are one of the most watched countries on the planet. Mm-hmm. It is terrifying. And then people go, oh, well, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. It doesn't bloody matter. The idea of privacy, I know that Harry and Meghan pretend to want it, but some people actually do want it. Some people want to be able to walk around and not have their every move tracked by some bloody internal system or some fake AI or something like that. We don't want the government knowing where we go, when we go, what we do of a day, or whether or not it's approved. It's ridiculous. It's dystopian. Adam says the cameras the police use are always failing anyway. I used to put them into rail stations for transport police, but that doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is that this surveillance system has creeped and creeped and creeped and creeped to the point where the police are genuinely talking about wearing body-worn facial recognition technology.
Yeah,
you should not.
Creep.
But you should not have to you should be able to opt out of facial recognition entirely. You should not have your facial features stored in some database against your will, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Mr. Jungle Griffin says, "What have you got to hide, Ben? I'll show you everything, shall I?" Nope.
I hate that argument.
I hate that argument as well, because at the end of the day, you have a right to have a private life.
You have a right to privacy, apparently. Do you have a right to privacy, though? Does Prince Harry and Meghan have a right to privacy after a near catastrophic car chase with paparazzi? Now, initially it was reported as near fatal. So, if it was near fatal, one would assume there would be injuries and you would have lost a limb.
There was no crash, was there?
There was nothing. It wasn't near fatal because nothing happened. There wasn't, I don't think there was a car chase either. Who's going to be, right, first of all, why are they chasing the paparazzi? And why are the paparazzi running away?
Chasing them.
No, why are they chasing the paparazzi and why are the paparazzi running away from them? Because that's the only scenario in which paparazzi surely are chasing them. Why would anyone be chasing them? You know what's going to happen here, right? This is just a big setup, isn't it? Because you know what's going to happen, right? It's going to be, we're coming back to Britain for the sake of our privacy and the sake of our family.
Absolutely, that's where it's going. But I'm sorry, guys. Frogmore's been given to Andy.
Yes,
so
I don't know. You're not getting your house back.
You're not getting your house back.
You're coming back as homeless illegals.
Yep, you're not getting your house back. Andy's in there, unless you. I mean, if you want to take your kids to go live with Andy, that's on you. So Robin says paparazzi can be dangerous.
Yeah, okay.
Dangerous.
Robin's obviously been drinking. We'll just let that slide.
We'll just let that slide, Robin. We'll let that one slide.
So, all right. Sorry, you got more to say on it?
Harry and Meghan are just making this shit up.
Yeah,
they are.
They are. The guys.
They are. They are the biggest attention seekers going.
Yeah.
They claim to want. We want privacy. 3-hour Oprah documentary. We want privacy. 8-episode Netflix special. We want privacy. Here's my book.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, come on. Come on. Come on.
Right.
Privacy.
An old friend that we haven't heard from for a while.
You talk to them for a minute. I'm going to pad my mic while I make another coffee.
Oh, bloody hell. So an old friend that we haven't heard from a while, Debbie Shrimper, comes out with a cracker. And
Dr. Debbie?
Yeah, I'm going to read from you. From Debbie.
Go on in.
From our opinion. And, of course, The Guardian, right? Bird flu could become the next human pandemic and politicians aren't paying attention. We have the tools to prepare, but post-COVID fatigue and lack of political will mean they aren't being used. Last month, a dog in Canada died of H5N1, also known as bird flu, after eating a wild goose. Worryingly, this follows a pattern, with an increasing number of bird flu cases appearing in mammals who come into contact with an infected bird, dead or alive. Hold on a minute. This has always happened. This isn't a...
Absolutely.
This isn't a species jump thing. This isn't bird flu getting passed from mammal to mammal. This is mammals eating a bird and getting bird flu. And generally, we don't tend to eat raw bird. Do we? So, And not many.
I don't recall the time that last time I ate raw bird because I don't like going to the hospital, John.
There was that one time in Nando's when I think the bird was a bit raw, but apart from that, yeah. So generally, it's all a load of nonsense. It really is.
Yes, it is.
I mean, she's going back to things. Do you remember when the sea lions, 3,000 sea lions died of bird flu in Peru? How do you know? How do you know 3,000 sea lions died of bird flu? Did someone count? I counted the sea lions out and I counted them in, and 3,000 died of bird flu. It's just, do you remember when seals were dying left, right, and centre all over the place here? Do you think that was bird flu?
Probably, John, if Devi has her way. But the thing is, we should all really ignore Devi because she's not been right really on anything for the past 3 years, has she?
She's a female, darker version of Neil Ferguson.
Remember when she went on Newsround and lied to children?
Yeah.
That same Divi Shriver, who the BBC had to issue an apology for because she lied on Newsround. Okay? These are the type of people that people like The Guardian continue to look to as experts. People who are either wrong or just outright lie.
Yeah.
And
cook the goose, says Robin. Yes, well, I think that's a problem. Animals don't tend to cook their feed.
Well, no, they don't. You know, they're not rubbing two sticks together and making a bloody fire, are they?
No.
They don't have posable thumbs.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. Imagine trying to play actual catch with a dog. You know, not just... Come on, Fido, catch the ball!
Yeah, boy, you can play catch with a dog. I can play catch with my dog. Yeah, as long as it uses its mouth. I don't use my mouth, though. It's not big enough.
No, I'm talking about real catch.
Me, but I use my hands.
I'm talking about real catch. Got to use their hands or their front legs.
Their front
Come
paws.
on, Fido, catch the ball.
Use your paws.
Catch the ball.
No, Fido, not your paws. Your paws. Oh well, we'll not be breathing that one. Right. Can we have our money? Show. What?
I've missed this show.
Can we have our money back, please? The head of Ukraine's Supreme Court arrested for large-scale corruption. It's a Zero Hedge advert, but I think it's...
Well, colour me shocked and surprised.
Covered by a few. Yet another large-scale corruption scandal has come out of Ukraine as the country's National Anti-Corruption Bureau. Boy, there's a team that's got their work cut out. And the Specialised Anti-Corruption Prosecutor's Office, another team that's got their work cut out, have announced significant action. Have announced significant action taken against the highest court in the land. So they exposed large-scale corruption in the Supreme Court, in particular a scheme to obtain undue advantage by the leadership and judges of the Supreme Court. The anti-corruption bodies announced on their official social media channels Tuesday it's a huge embarrassment, given this is the highest legal body in the land and the nation's top judge responsible for interpreting and upholding the law. A $2.7 million bribe. That's not to be sniffed at.
That's not to be sniffed at. I'll take one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I won't.
But you know what? When you are supporting the most corrupt country in Europe by flooding it with money, what really do you expect to happen?
Well, exactly right. If you're going to do this, if you are going to give people, corrupt nations, a massive influx of money. Perhaps instead of giving them money, you just give them the stuff that they need and make sure you personally deliver it to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's probably not going to go on the things. Well, some of it might go on the things, but most of it is just going to disappear into shopping trips in Paris. I mean, what?
Disappear up someone's nose. That's where it's
He's been
going.
here, isn't he, old Zelensky? He was
here
checkers.
He was here yesterday. I don't know where he is now. He's on his tour of Europe.
He's not going back, is he? He's anywhere but Ukraine at the moment.
He's frightened because if he goes back, one of his soldiers is bound to shoot him. The way things are going. But anyway, right, let's move on to some more mayhem. So, Scottish buses are going driverless.
Are they, though?
Well,
is there a trial?
Scottish buses will have a safety driver ready to grab the controls in an emergency. Right, so we have a Scottish bus and it now has a driver. It's not a driverless bus, it's a drivered bus, but he's not driving. He's monitoring the driverless bus. And he will take over if he has to, right?
So just drive the goddamn bus!
But it gets better. It gets better. There will also be a captain on board to handle tickets and passenger queries. So we've now taken a bus that's normally driven by one man or woman who collects the fare and drives the bus, and it's now a bus that drives itself but doesn't, and also has a conductor to take your ticket. Hi! We've just gone back 20 years, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, right? But we're back to on the buses, aren't we? Except the bus will drive itself to a degree.
For about 5 feet down the road, until it hits some kind of obstruction, and the guy goes, "Oh, I'm taking over.
Yeah,
and Mr. Jungle Griffin says, "How long before the first accident because the guy falls asleep?"
When a robo-taxi, i.e. a driverless taxi, was pulled over by police in San Francisco for driving at night with no headlights, it stopped briefly before making a run for it across an intersection. I'm in pursuit. I'm in pursuit. Code 404 with a driverless taxi.
The AI on board, just like Kip from Knight Rider with the red lights going, "You're not gonna get me, coppers!"
That's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Right, speaking of ridiculous, have you seen the Earthspark TV show?
No.
Which I'm confused, right? I am confused here because it says the Earthspark. I'm sorry about my diction tonight. I seem to be having difficulty getting my words out.
I told you we need to get you subtitles.
I thought you were just going to say I was senile.
Well, that too, but
so the Earthspark TV show introduces a non-binary robot.
What?
Whoa, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. How could a robot ever be binary? It's not alive. It's not a biological entity.
No. I can answer this.
No. Go on.
So the coding that programs a robot is called binary, right? It's called binary. You code it with binary. So
is this
what they're trying to tell you is this one is coded with basic. Yeah.
but that doesn't work because ultimately basic converts to binary before the program is executed?
Spencer says it would probably be hexadecimal, not binary.
But everything's binary when it comes down to it in the CPU, mate.
Yeah.
The
chip controlling it operates.
I'm with Tony on this.
Look.
Everything's on or off. It's all it is a little box with loads and loads of switches in it, and that's why.
Look, listen.
That's why it'll never be intelligent.
I tried. I made you laugh. Right? I did my job. I did my job.
I mean, I'm not even going to go into it any further because apparently the robot tells little kids how great it is to be non-binary, but it's a robot, so how could it possibly know anything different?
Children, I am not programmed with zeros and ones.
That's when there's so much off the wall where it's unbelievable.
I like that.
Right?
Come on.
Give
it to me, baby.
See, Buck Rogers. See, everybody has a dwarf. Buck Rogers had a dwarf robot. I don't really want a dwarf robot. I want something I can interact with.
Actually, I was watching the Misfits boxing the other night on YouTube, live from Wembley Arena.
Have they got dwarfs?
Well, one of them came out with a dwarf in their entourage.
Oh, tremendous.
Yeah.
So
you really want a dwarf, don't you?
I'm only going to read the headline to this. There is a video that goes with it. If you want to search it out on Twitter, it's worth a watch.
Okay.
Man gets whipped with snake during Toronto street fight.
Yes. Yes.
And he really, really does get whipped.
Yes.
It's incredible.
I mean, A+ for effort and inventiveness. A+.
Yeah, you got to give him credit. You've got to
credit where credit is due.
I wonder what would happen if I put that out into. See if I just zip that across. You would see that.
If you turn us full screen. Oh yeah, look, there you go.
It's just mental. I mean, the police.
That's tremendous.
I'll let it run once more. Not that we're condoning this, but that's shocking. Look, I mean, what the hell? And
it's tremendous.
What's the guy doing with a snake? It's just crazy.
I love the way the police pull up, and they probably just don't know what to do.
What? I tell you what, mate. If we get a yellow tick for this show, I'll accept it.
So if you do watch our pre-shows over on TikTok, make sure to send us lovely gifts over there.
Yeah, do so.
So we'll do. For those of you who don't know, we're now doing a pre-show before this show over on TikTok for about half an hour before we go live here. We did the first one tonight, and we'll do the next one on Friday. I do TikTok live shows every afternoon, by the way. And try and get people with the main reason for them is to try and send people over here to this show. So we're trying to get people to come over here from there. But I've got 8,000 followers on TikTok, so I might as well try and utilize them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I believe I know Cherie was in here earlier. I don't know if she still is, but she came over from TikTok and she said she was loving it. So that's what I like to see.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm impressed.
Yeah. So
what was her name?
I want to thank everyone.
It's a cool name. That's
different. But Cherie.
That's cool. Cherie.
But
cool.
Yeah, anyway, she came over from TikTok, and a few others have come over from TikTok as well.
Yeah. Right.
And it's really nice to see people over here.
It is. It's great. So, speaking of things that are off the wall, Jacob Rees-Mogg makes a statement. Didn't he get shut down? He makes a statement. Right? Brexit stopped the Ukraine invasion from succeeding, says Jacob Rees-Mogg. Jacob Rees-Mogg said Brexit allowed Britain to show global leadership over Ukraine, making it impossible for Putin to succeed. Well, there's a couple of points here. I don't think Britain shows any leadership over anything other than the fact they poke their nose into other people's business when they really shouldn't be, and it's got nothing to do with them. Secondly, I think it's a bit early to determine whether Putin's going to succeed or not.
Yeah, I agree.
So, shut up, Mog. You're just another establishment shill.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. Anything coming out the mouths of any of our current crop of politicians should basically be disregarded, in my opinion. It should be disregarded and seen as either conjecture or as BS. Robin, I want to address you in the chat there. He says, I found you on BNT. We used to be on BNT. We used to have a great audience over there on BNT.
We did.
And then they had the hack. It all went wrong. We're still technically one of their Rhodium channels, which is supposed to get... We can't do anything. We can't upload. We can't go live. We can't use the platform.
I'm going to have to touch up my beard. It's getting a bit white.
Just for men, John. Takes off the years Gray puts on.
I'll put some in for Friday. Make me look younger.
I'm telling you, we need to approach Keeps. For those of you who don't know what Keeps is, it's an ointment you put on your head to prevent hair loss. They're sponsoring a bunch of YouTubers because we could make the best advert. Start off with you, John, and go, do you have hair like this? And then me pop up and go, would you like hair like this?
Yeah, it's distinguished, John. Thank you, Spencer. If you were an attractive younger woman saying that, I might believe you, but...
No, I'm actually going to say this. When I go grey, I'm going to let myself go grey. I won't be dyeing my hair.
Yeah, I started going grey when I was 16, mate.
I really like grey hair, and I think your beard does look wonderful. I think it looks great.
I don't know. I think it needs a bit of colour because in real life it's too see-through-y because it's white. If
you grow it out between now and Christmas, we can call you Papa Noel.
No, I'm not going to look like... well, it's strange you should say that, Jess. Because, strangely enough, like my father before me, right? Although we both had very dark hair, there is a touch of ginger in both the eyebrows and the facial hair, but none up here. This is where it counts, and none down there, right? So the only ginger appears briefly in these parts or these parts.
Same with me. It only really appears in here, but at the end of the day, I'm not No, you're lying.
I've seen you.
You're lying.
I've seen you in real life before you died.
And you're lying. You're lying.
Anyway, right, apart from that.
Do you know what, Adam? I wouldn't... I am not fucking ginger. Jesus, if I was, I'd be happy and proud. I love ginger hair. I love it. Sorry, Jess, but if it was a choice between you and Jamie...
Well, hold on. What's clear? No, Tony, it doesn't work on beards. Because beard hair is completely different from head hair. Completely different. It just won't stick.
Look, we'll get you some boot polish, John. You can just rub some boot polish in there.
Yeah, that'll work, yeah. Right, just so... Matt, moving on. British next-gen warship sabotaged.
Yes.
A probe was launched into suspected intentional damage aboard the frigate HMS Glasgow.
Listen. For transparency, this is an article from RT. We do have to say that.
Yeah,
because it could be.
Well, you can say what you like, but it's not been refuted by the Royal Navy. Well, actually, it's in the UK Defence Journal, which first reported the incident.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that we are quoting from an article from RT.
Yeah, okay, which are quoting from an article from the UK Defence Journal.
Yes, okay. All right.
British defence contractor BAE Systems is assessing the scope of repairs needed following an alleged act of sabotage in the Royal Navy's newest frigate, which is still under construction. We uncovered a limited number of cables on HMS Glasgow earlier in the week, which appear to have been damaged intentionally. A spokesperson for the company responsible for the construction and fitting out of the ship said in a statement to the media on Friday. The company added that it had suspended work on the frigate in order to inspect every area of the vessel and ensure our highest standards and quality controls are met. According to the UK Defence Journal, which first reported the incident, more than 60 cables were cut aboard the vessel.
I know why.
Why was more than 60?
I know what's happened here.
It says that it believed an issue related to payment disputes could have been the motive.
No, I know what's happened here, John.
Go on, tell me, Ben. What is it?
It's being built up there in Scotland, right?
Yeah.
So they run out of money for the ferry, so they needed to nick some cables.
That's possible. That's definitely. In fact, that's probable.
Those bloody ferries. Adam says, contractors!
Yeah, I think that's us. I think that's everything covered.
No, it's not.
I'm pretty sure we did cover that in the last show.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, I'm sure we
and
did.
we need to cover this from Mail Online. Go woke, go broke. Toronto anti-capitalist anarchist cafe, where customers pay what you can. Shutters after year after failing to make enough money. Mm-hmm. Owner slammed cops as pig and late queen as a parasite.
Mm-hmm. So his contention is that because he didn't get enough startup capital, he wasn't able to see the company through the bleaker winter terms, i.e. when people aren't out as much buying coffee. And he didn't make enough in the summer to keep himself going. So it sounds like he actually probably made some money, but then thought, I'm not making enough money, and just shut it. That's what it sounds like to me.
So this anti-capitalist anarchist businessman was in fact a capitalist in disguise who has realised that his business model is shite, and so he's had to shut down. But, you know, that is capitalism for you. And it's also a good reason, a good showing that communism and socialism doesn't work, baby. Doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
If you scale it up. I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. So the idea of socialism or communism or whatever you want to call it can work in 12 people in a commune. It can work there with 12 people who all want to live in that lifestyle, choosing to come together and live in that lifestyle. It can work then. But if you, United Kingdom, for example, over 70 million people, if you scale it up to over 70 million people, I don't want to live in that lifestyle. There are many other people that don't want to live in that lifestyle. And do you know what happens? Well, you have to quash dissent. Because that's the only way that you can introduce these systems or enforce them upon people. So it becomes what? Mao's China? It becomes Stalin, it becomes all of these people, Mussolini, it becomes all of these people going, you are having this, no matter what, you're all going to be equally impoverished, and if you don't like it, you off to Gulag.
Yeah.
So Tony Garrett says, surprise, surprise, the anti-capitalist didn't capitalize on the commie sentiment. And with that comment, I would like to say, if you are not already, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you are also not already, please make sure you go find Real Reviews Official over on YouTube and subscribe to that channel. If you are on TikTok, come and find us, Chasing Dissent Official, or Chasing Dissent Live, I think, over on TikTok. Just search Chasing Dissent, you'll find us. And yeah.
Robin's saying, yeah, but don't we have the most AI battleships on the planet apart from Israel? I don't understand.
AI doesn't exist.
AI doesn't exist. What do you mean the most? We've hardly got any. The Royal Navy is a shadow of its former self. We're no longer a maritime power. I really don't think we could take the Falklands back now if Argentina made a move on them.
What people call AI is not real AI.
It's not AI.
It's not AI. It's not artificial intelligence. There's nothing intelligent about it. computer automated. Yeah, well, yeah,
Well,
perhaps,
yeah,
but
it's a small number compared to everybody. I mean, China's now got more ships at sea than the US.
So anyway, with that out of the way, I will be back tomorrow about 1 o'clock in the afternoon over on TikTok if you're following us over there. We'll look at some news. I'll play you some songs. We'll chill out. We'll have some good vibes. We'll raise the vibrations. Look, what I'm trying to do is just create a positive atmosphere over there. So please come and join us. And obviously, we will be right back here Friday night at 9 p.m. with the infamous Chasing Dissent all in.
Indeed, we will.
And obviously, before then, we will be live on TikTok with the all-in pre-show. And hopefully that'll be a bit more upbeat this time, because this one was a bit all rushed and cobbled together. But
yeah,
I've got everything.
Was a mess.
I mean, it was a mess, but, you know, people were enjoying it and they were talking to us and people moved over to the show from over there. So I want to thank people that did that, you know?
Yeah.
Also, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Chasing Dissent.
Might even be, well, I hope to be in the new location, so we'll see how that goes. So you better run your cable in case you've got to take over the controls.
I better do that. And John, are you going to turn on super thanks at some point on the channel over the next few days?
Yes, I think I will, actually. I thought, hadn't I done that? Right, I will.
No.
I'll turn that on.
So super thanks is going to be active as well. So if you want to super thanks us.
Oh, we're supposed to offer them something for super thanks, though, aren't we?
Yeah, I'll tell you what we'll offer them.
Oh, we talked about, we need to sit and talk about this and work it out, because don't let it out the bag. But yeah, we've got a plan.
I was just going to offer him some pictures, John.
No, get better than that. You're better than that.
But they'll like these pictures.
You're better than that.
But they'll like these pictures, John.
What's Robin saying?
Pictures,
I liked it and even had slides and videos. What's he talking about?
I'm not sure.
What is slides? We didn't have slides today.
I'm not sure, but we love you.
Yes, of course we do.
John, before you fall asleep at the wheel, go on.
I'd like to thank everyone for attending this episode 219 of Chasing Dissent Live with me, John, and with Ben, the chap with the multicoloured device. It's been great.
For you.
For you.
You can see the writing on the pavement. Young kids, they're growing up in basements. Online, a whole new generation. I'ma make mine, so you better go take it. Always, they need a new replacement. Decentralized, can't contain it. We're changing lives, yeah, upgrading. Call it suicide of the older generation. Too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We